Right, aircraft. I still think that we need more jets. Are we short on anything right now? Artillery and rocket artillery we are short on, but that's mostly because we're building more of those items. We have a lot of light tanks. I've just realised how many light tanks we have, but no, it's jet fighters we need the most. Like, we basically have no air force. Oh no, those rocket interceptors. Wrong aeroplane! We want jet fighters. In fact, I could probably upgrade them. Because for some reason, upgrading the engine does not come with a reliability penalty. Upgrading the range does. Never quite understood that. So we're going to take those, Meteoro Mark 1s, mass produce them. And I'm going to stand them to the top of the list because they are now the most important vessel I am producing. Item, whatever. And you need to be upgraded as well. Cool. I'm going to give it a little time to rejig production. And then I think you lot actually gained a boatload of experience. Are going to head over to Portugal. Portuguese Africa. Because obviously we need to go and fight over here now. Oops. Alright, off we go. Relocate the Navy and the Air Force. That is true. Navy. I think I'm going to enact a blockade of the Axis. Because we should already control the Mediterranean, because I control Gibraltar. So I'm not too concerned about that. Right, where's the best port that we control? Must be something around here, surely. Zanzibar! You can be based out there. We now have 16 of the most modern warships known to man. Marvellous. Right. Reinforcements are on their way. You guys are on your way. Infrastructure will be done. We are still producing synthetics, but that's mostly for the rubber now. Which we do still need to... Oh no, we're not even import. Where am I getting my rubber from? Of course, South America, dumbass. And steel. I need to change my steel production, but that needs to resort itself. So midnight tonight, that should all rejig. Boom. How are we doing for imports? Commonwealth is probably closer economy. They have. New England is just being inefficient. South Africa is just being inefficient. There are still serious steel shortages. And then South Africa is being inefficient. Or am I literally just out of... I'm out of convoys. That's the problem. So let's just mass produce a bunch of convoys for a while. And see this problem out. And then we should resolve that. Zanzibar was not captured by the Sultanate. No, it's an island. Which is actually being fortified, hilariously. Alright, so in this war against the Axis, who has the most contribution? Arabia's almost out. They are being invaded from the rear. Egypt's the only one still fighting. They have 700,000 casualties. Russia has the biggest contribution. Followed by India. Interesting. Oh, I guess that's because they're fighting across Persia. And the Japanese war? This is going to be almost entirely Russia. Russia and India. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. And Australia. Huh. And apparently, I just noticed, Australia was capitulated at one point. Oh no, there is no flag there. Never mind. Oh, there must have been just a ghost flag or something. Never mind. No, Australia was not capitulated. I'm not going to spread false information. And the Air Force, yeah, I know. The mighty, mighty Air Force of 2 wings. Do I even have any air bases over here? Apparently I do. Could probably do with building some more. There he is. A long bloody way to get here. Here come the jets. Oh, hi! Oh man, they can't reach anything. I have an airbase up there, though. And that can. And the tactical bombers, sure. We'll go for a complete domination of this area. Cool. You're not doing anything. Apparently not. Well, I would like you reposition convoy raiding in this area based out of Zanzibar. Cool. Convoy sailing. Excellent. Not that I really need it, but I'll take them anyway. So many troops just pouring out of America. They're like, right, everyone else. A little bit worried about Mexico still, seeing as I am the one on the border with them. Hopefully it'll be fine. Imperial pride. Excellent. Centralized leadership. Now we start getting the political power gains. Oh dear. And we have a lot of civilian factories. Wow. We get 69 from trade. Yeah, this is because we are the oil mogul. We export actually almost no oil. What? What the hell am I exporting then? Rubber? Steel. I am technically one of the steel moguls. And one of the few countries that actually has the economy open still. Right, so a lot of these little guys that are inefficient right now. Actually, my steel production will be recovering as I repair my steel producing facilities. So we can start reduce... This might be a bit dangerous, actually. Because that was not... That's part of the problem. Because we do have a lot of steel production which is getting repaired now. But also I'm building convoys which are less steel intensive, so maybe I should not be doing this. Anywhere where I'm getting 8 resources, I'm going to continue buying from them. Basically because I just want to lock in those purchases and stop anyone else stealing them. And we are still short on convoys, but we are producing more. Any way of improving relations with Mexico? Yeah, there is. They freaking hate us though. Oh no, I freaking hate them. They're claiming my territory? Oh, this means war. Screw making friends with them. Clearly this is new Portugal. I'm a colonialist after all. Alright, so lots of them getting built. Marvellous. You guys haven't even freaking left! No convoys, that's why. I'm still going to yell at you. Chromium. Again, convoys. That is a lot of troops coming to Africa. Oh man, this is going to be a real test of the infrastructure over here. I'm going to do my best to keep it all upgraded, but that's a lot of stuff to build. Ah, I can help it though. So once I have centralized leadership, what I might do is construction engineering, because that has a 10% boost to infrastructure construction speed. Conquering the Mexicans is a kind of weird way of improving relations. But I'm okay with it, says Fiddler's Reach. Yeah, actually that is entirely reasonable thinking there. They never did quite get the cutoff. Just. I think this is going to be the final extent of their push into what is clearly rightfully Portugal. Alright, so we're researching modern tanks, so we potentially replace some of the light tanks with moderns, because I think they move as quickly. And they have a massive amount of breakthrough, but they are absolute chromium hogs. Unfortunately, I have a very long-standing agreement with South Africa, which I'm not intending to break. That is kind of role-playing purposes, though. I mean, they backed us up when Middle Africa was going, so I'm not going to backstab them now. They've earned their independence. They're a legitimate state in our eyes. We've sanctioned them before the... what would it be? Precursor to the UN. I should know this. I'm not going to look at chat. Thingy of Nations. Council of Nations. I think that's what it was called, right? Pretty sure. Let's just go and cheat and have a look. Council of Nations. Yes, it was. Because I think the UN was post-World War II, so this would still be Council of Nations. League of Nations. Either of them. The something of nations. The collection of nations. The people sitting around a table and talking of nations. Well, one thing I do have to say about this latest version of Kaiserreich is the optimization improvements that they've made to background calculations has definitely improved. There is no way that time would be moving this quickly still in 1946. Like, I would have given up by now just because of how slowly time was moving. So that is definitely one really big improvement, which I entirely applaud. Dan are literally faster with Google. Well, I wasn't looking at Google initially. That was just to confirm whether I was correct or not. The orgy of nations. Right, so have we left yet? No, we are still short on convoys. Only just. We are one convoy short in terms of trade. And yes, we are on the move. Good. Oh man, we are producing a lot of stuff. Now getting 74 factories from trade. Now I know what it feels like to be America. The submarines still haven't moved. Oh, you can't get there. That's the problem. Yeah, you are blocked by this. Tier 1 subs. I need to have access through you. And you wouldn't give it to me. Really? I'm going to improve my relations with you because I do want access through South Africa so I can get around the Horn. They're not doing very much to stop World War II of nations. Yeah, but that's because all of the signatory nations were so weak after World War I. They weren't really prepared for the rising strength of Germany, particularly not that quickly. Germany recovered way more quickly than the rest of Europe. And most of Europe was the signatories. I think it was Europe and the US. Like China, I don't think was a member. Japan? Was Japan a member? They might have been. I'm actually kind of curious. Who were the members? League of... Oh, there we go. Now it's the top choice. The opening members were... UK, France, USA. It wasn't just 3. "44 states signed the covenant, including 31 had taken part on the side of the Entente." Just give me a sodding list. Members. No, that's post-World War II. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Saying a lot about the various conflicts that they fought, but nothing about who was actually in it. Wikipedia, you're failing me. Oh, okay. It's just a list, a map with all the different countries. Okay, China was... No, join later. Founding member. Canada. USA was not a founding member. What? USA was never a member of the League of Nations. Really? So founding members were Canada, Norway, Sweden, Britain, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Poland, China, India, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Colombia, Bolivia, Uruguay? This is my geography starting to fail me. And that little bit of Africa. Oh, and Portugal and Greece. There you go. Right, mechanised infantry, centralised leadership, Bristol Grenadier, blah 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 blah. What do I need to produce? Aircraft. We need the Bristol Bronzaga. And... oh, it is 46, so we can get... yep, we can get that now. Night Vision 2. Have we already got... yes. Good. 46, we could get the advanced jet engines. When convoy escorts are done, we'll probably get that. And we have enough to get these. So I can finally get my fighter manufacturer, but that seems kind of pointless because this does not apply to jets. So I could get better destroyers and submarines at this point because... or I could get a Chief of Navy. This is probably a better option. Screen attack, defense, naval speed. That's not bad. Screens are like cruisers. Trade convoy, production cost, marine organization, soft attack, and hard attack. Actually, I kind of prefer this. Convoys are cheaper and marines are even better, and I do use marines. Except I can't choose you because we are not foolish, I mean socialist. Or air doctrine. Air superiority, attack, defense. That's probably the one we'll go with. Yeah, we can't get theorist. Or we could improve our stability to good stability for even more output to counter the output penalties of being at service by requirement. Or we could get rid of some of these guys to make sure they're all paternal autocrats. This guy in particular. We'll do that. Our entire cabinet is now paternal autocrat. Excellent. You guys have mostly arrived. You guys have mostly arrived. Anyway, I think that is going to be the end of this stream. Ending 5 minutes early, but I still need to get a bunch of chores done. Because I will be streaming again in roughly 1 hour time, continuing the game I had as the Union of Britain co-op with Conquering History Games, where he was playing as a Commune of France. World War II has just started. We ended on a cliffhanger, so we've just declared war on Germany, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Conquering History is a great guy, knows a hell of a lot about the game. We seem to have a pretty good thing going. So join me again in roughly 1 hour's time. We'll be starting that at midnight, British Summer Time, where I am going to be playing Conquering Kaiserreich with Conquering History as the Internationale. I'm actually playing the bad guys. So thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, do consider hitting that follow button so you get notifications when I'm live in the future. If you've really enjoyed this, consider subscribing. It really does help the channel out and basically lets me continue doing this. If you want to support the channel in other ways, then do check out the Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking. I have a Discord channel where you can find announcements and notifications and stuff about when I'm streaming, what I'm streaming, how I'm streaming, that type of thing. It's also where the Mordred Viking community hangs out. So if you need any tips or advice about games, it's a good place to do that. And it's also where multiplayer games can be organised and done. Those are the three. No, I'm missing one. YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, which you can find at youtube.com/MordredViking. That is where I upload many of these games, including this one. So if you've missed any of this, you can catch up on YouTube. because Twitch Archive only lasts about 2 weeks. And there are a bunch of other grand strategy games and other strategy games, including, most recently, Warhammer 2, which I finally got a copy of. So thank you everyone for watching. I will see you in about an hour. See you then.